I got to know you a little bit over the last 10 days. And one of the things I've noticed about you is um, you have a quietly ambitious attitude, which is very strong and very powerful. And I say quietly because it's not that ringing that bell that you spoke about. It's your own personal drive that I notice. So I'm interested in, what do you do to keep that alive? What is it? Is it knowledge? Do you have a mentor? What is it that keeps you so driven inside?
I think for me, you've got to take on some personal responsibility for that, and I think you've got to keep thinking about where you might be this time next year, this time in 2 years' time, and make sure that you continually think about where it is you want to end up. And I think that's really important. For me, I like to keep evolving, so I talk a lot with my team about evolution and not revolution. I don't want to make snap judgments or big decisions just because they feel like a big change. I want to just keep evolving and keep evolving enough to keep up with the market and remain ahead of the market if possible. So for me, thinking about that it was always quite exciting. Think about what might be the next thing that we need to evolve. Same with teams. Where do we need to take different teams next to continue to grow and continue to be successful? So I think that's the sort of personal side of it in terms of how I sort of self-motivate. But then there's a lot of external stimuli I think that you can use. So I think that whether that's reading or the videos that you might see, some of which you have to park very quickly, but some of which are really inspirational. And some of those just start to plant thoughts. I never find that the stuff that I find or I use is sort of out of the box ready, but it provides thoughts and it provides inspiration for you to think about where you might want to go next. I mean, one of the interesting things that we sort of talked about recently is how millennials behave differently in the workforce and in sales teams, and what motivates them, and how we might have to adapt to encourage those people to achieve great things. And that's just the latest thing that we're sort of thinking about right now. So definitely a lot of external stimuli. I don't necessarily have one person to go to because I like to keep it fresh. I like to keep it broad. I like to take inspiration from many different characters and many different sources. So I think, it's one of those things that people often find they don't have time to because they're too busy or it's not urgent, but that's the thing that's going to keep you ahead and keep you driven. So for me, picking up on that external stimuli is really important.